The Galactic Assembly had never taken Earth seriously. To them, humanity was a minor species, newly awakened to the interstellar stage, loud in words but weak in presence. When humans first spoke in the Council, their tone carried warning rather than submission, pride rather than awe. The elder races called it arrogance. The humans called it confidence for years. Earth's representatives had offered peaceful cooperation, trade, and mutual defense, but with one consistent message repeated like an oath: do not mistake restraint for weakness. The Council laughed. Humanity's ships were smaller, their fleets fewer, and their weapons seemed primitive compared to the elegant plasma constructs and gravitic cannons of the ancient powers. To them, Earth's warning was nothing more than noise echoing from a young world. The years passed and tensions grew. Disputes over resources in neutral systems escalated into skirmishes. A powerful empire among the elder races decided to test Earth's resolve. They sent fleets to secure the Helios Corridor, a trade route claimed by Earth's colonies. The invasion came without a declaration of war. The first battles were brutal. Human ships, though fast and fiercely commanded, were outnumbered 20-1. The invaders expected an easy victory. What they found was resistance unlike anything they had faced before. Human ships fought until their hulls broke apart, until their reactors bled fire into space. Every destroyed vessel rammed itself into an enemy cruiser before dying. Every colony turned its orbital platforms into weapons. The attackers won the ground, but they paid in oceans of metal and blood. After the first assault, the Galactic Assembly called for calm. They expected Earth to surrender or plead for peace. Instead, Earth's envoy stood before them, calm, composed, and silent for a long time. Then came a single sentence that rippled through every translation circuit in the hall. "You've mistaken our patience for inability. You've mistaken our silence for fear." When the envoy left, half the council dismissed it as posturing. The other half felt a chill, though none would admit it aloud. For the first time, they remembered the words spoken years ago, that humanity was holding back. Weeks turned to months. The war spread. The invaders advanced deeper into human territory, burning colonies, seizing stations, enslaving survivors. Humanity did not respond with full-scale retaliation. They simply watched. At least that's how it appeared. Recon reports showed mass mobilization across the Sol system. Entire asteroid belts were stripped for materials. The lunar surface shimmered with industrial light visible from orbit. And then transmissions ceased. Earth went dark. For 6 months, not a single human signal escaped their space. Scouts sent to investigate never returned. The invaders mocked them in broadcasts across the stars, calling them broken, beaten, finished. The Council believed it. Until one day the darkness stirred. It began with a pulse, a low-frequency hum that rolled through subspace and disrupted communication arrays across 10 sectors. The hum wasn't a weapon, not exactly. It was a message encoded in a language of mathematics and gravity waves. The signal carried one phrase translated across every tongue in the galaxy. "Now you will understand." Then the stars around Sol flickered. Observatories across the assembly reported energy surges at magnitudes never recorded before. Artificial gravitational anomalies aligned across the outer planets. Jupiter's orbit adjusted by a fraction, just enough to serve as a massive lens focusing unimaginable power. Humanity had transformed their solar system into a weapon. The first wave of human ships emerged not from shipyards, but from the void itself. Their hulls bore no insignia, no color, only matte black armor that absorbed light. Their engines left no trails, their signatures unreadable. They were silent until they opened fire. The invading fleets vanished within hours. No transmissions, no wreckage, only static where hundreds of capital ships once stood. The Council watched in disbelief as real-time feeds from the front lines cut to black, one after another. An emergency session was called. The Council chamber, usually calm and bright, was filled with chaos. Voices shouted across languages and frequencies. Some demanded retaliation, others demanded negotiation. But before a decision could be reached, every display in the chamber blinked to static. Then the static cleared. A human appeared on every screen, calm, unarmed, eyes steady. Behind them, through the viewport, Earth's blue horizon glowed against the light of the sun. "We warned you," the voice said softly. "We showed restraint when others would have conquered. We sought peace when others sought dominance. You brought war to our children, and you will now see the consequence of awakening what you do not understand." The transmission ended. Moments later, the first wave of retaliation began. Across the occupied human worlds, space fractured as enormous vessels appeared from folds in gravity itself. These were not ships as the galaxy knew them. They were mobile singularity anchors, bending mass and light around their cores. Human engineers had mastered the forbidden art of gravitational architecture, the manipulation of space-time as both shield and weapon. Entire fleets vanished beneath invisible tides. The invaders' strongholds fell in hours. Cities that once stood proud above human colonies now turned to silent fields of ash. But humanity didn't stay to rule or gloat. They simply dismantled every trace of occupation, leaving nothing behind but scorched soil and silence. The Council sent a delegation to plead for ceasefire. They approached the edge of human space where the stars themselves seemed to bend inward, their light dimmed by gravitational anomalies. A beacon appeared, leading them to a single structure floating in the void, a massive ring black as night radiating faint blue pulses. The delegation docked. Inside they found no guards, no diplomats, only holographic records playing in an endless loop. Images of burning colonies, enslaved civilians, destroyed habitats, all the atrocities committed against humanity, flashed before them. The final message appeared, delivered in that same calm voice. You wanted dominance. You will have understanding instead. The Council's ships fled in terror, but as they crossed the border, their navigation systems froze. The stars around them rearranged. The coordinates they once used no longer worked. Earth had rewritten the local map of space-time. No ship could enter or leave without permission. Humanity had sealed their domain. Centuries-old empires trembled. Fleets mobilized to form a coalition to counter the human threat. But as they prepared for war, they realized something horrifying. Every major power had relied on human technology for communications, navigation, and energy relays. Quietly, over decades of trade, humanity had become the backbone of galactic infrastructure. When Earth shut its systems down, the galaxy went blind. Entire sectors fell into chaos. Trade collapsed. Fleets drifted without guidance. The coalition never launched. They couldn't even coordinate. The galaxy that once mocked Earth now depended on it for survival, and Earth had vanished behind a wall of silence. For months, chaos reigned. Then came another signal, brief, calm, and final. Understand this. Humanity is not your enemy, but we will never again be your prey. After that, the wall around human space pulsed once more, stabilizing into what the Council called the horizon line. Beyond it, no probe returned. No scan penetrated. Humanity had isolated itself, leaving the galaxy to recover or collapse on its own. Years later, explorers ventured near the horizon line. They found traces of immense megastructures orbiting unseen stars, rings of artificial worlds harnessing the energy of suns. They realized that Earth had advanced far beyond what the galaxy could comprehend. Humanity had not merely rebuilt, they had ascended. Rumors spread through every species. Some said the humans had unlocked the secret of controlling time itself. Others claimed they had found the path to creating worlds from thought alone. But none dared to test it. The last empire that tried sent a probe past the horizon line. The probe transmitted a single image before vanishing, a view of Earth, shining brighter than ever, surrounded by silent titans watching the stars. After that, the galaxy accepted the truth. Humanity had warned them. Humanity had shown mercy. And when provoked, humanity had shown what it truly meant to hold back. Generations passed. The Council rebuilt, but they never again spoke of conquering Earth. Instead, they built shrines to commemorate the silent reckoning, the day the galaxy learned humility. On distant worlds, children were taught of the humans, not as monsters, not as gods, but as the species that taught the stars respect. Scholars studied fragments of old transmissions, decoding every phrase for wisdom, and in every retelling, one phrase echoed louder than the rest. We were holding back. What frightened them most was the lingering question. Holding back from what? Because sometimes, on quiet nights, deep space sensors caught faint whispers in the void, rhythmic pulses of light traveling faster than any known signal, resonating through gravitational fields. The scientists couldn't decode it, but old records matched its pattern. It was the same sequence humanity once used to send its first greeting to the galaxy. But this time, the message was different. A single translated phrase flickered across the displays of every listening station. "We're still watching." The stars themselves seemed to dim for a moment, as though bowing in silent acknowledgement. And then nothing, only the endless hum of the universe that had finally learned fear. From that day forward, the galaxy remembered Earth not as a miner,